From the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OSU update with Gina Mizell. I'm Jenni Carlson. Gina, spring football has started at OSU. Lots to talk about, but let's start with the defense. This seems like an area where there may be as much stability as anywhere. A lot of guys returning. What's the feeling about the defense?
Well, Mike Gundy said yesterday that really for the first time in his head coaching career that they go 3 deep at almost every defensive position, which is kind of what they've been working towards. They've been there on offense for almost this whole career, and when you think of Oklahoma State, you think of that offense, but now they're kind of getting there on defense. I think some good battles to watch are defensive end, replacing both Jamie Blatnick and Rashedi Jones. At strong safety, you're replacing Markel Martin. So obviously there are some pieces that are gone that you need to replace. But as far as they got their whole linebacking core back, they've got Datewan Lowe at safety. They've got a lot of guys at tackle, which was such a question mark last year. Now it's Gundy was joking. He's like, there's too many guys here. I can't even keep them all straight. So there's definitely, like you said, some stability there. And I think that actually is probably going to be the side of the ball that they lean on a little bit more in the spring, which you never would have thought when you think of Oklahoma State in the past few years.
Well, you mentioned that defensive tackle spot, and there are enough guys there that they moved one of them to defensive end. Let's talk a little bit more about the defensive end position.
Right.
How is that going to shake out?
Other than the quarterback battle, that's the most intriguing position battle to me, because you do lose Jamie Blatnick, who had such a great season, an all Big 12 player, Rashedi Jones, a cornerstone of that defense, and those are two guys not only that were great on the field, but great in the locker room, were two big spokesmen of that team. But yeah, you're right, they moved Nigel Nicholas from tackle to end. They also moved Tyler Johnson from middle linebacker to defensive end, so that'll create some extra depth there. And they signed a good amount of players coming in from high school, but obviously they won't be here until August. So you've got Nicholas, you've got Tyler Johnson, and then the starters right now are going to be Cooper Bassett and Ryan Robinson, the junior college transfer, and then Jimmy Bean, who went to the same high school as J.W. Walsh, is also going to be in the rotation as well. So again, it's a lot of new faces, a lot of guys that haven't played a ton, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that shakes out, who emerges and who winds up as the starters as the spring ends.
Lastly, this defense a year ago became known as a defense that would give up yards, but got a lot of stops in the red zone, got a lot of turnovers. Do you see that being the fingerprint of this defense coming out of the spring, or maybe they looking to be a little bit more of a shutdown type of defense?
Well, I'm sure they would like to give up less yards. I mean, even when they were forcing all these turnovers last year, Mike Gundy and Bill Young and everyone was saying, we would like to give up less yards. I mean, that's kind of the goal. But I mean, they're not going to change their philosophy as far as it's a defense that forces a lot of turnovers. It's a defense that makes those big plays. And so as far as style of play, they're still using the 2 whistles in practice, which is what they use to try to force those turnovers and try to strip the ball. So that hasn't changed, at least it didn't yesterday. So I don't see the philosophy changing. But sure, this group does need to grow, because they were not good in total defense. They were not good in passing defense. They were not good in rushing defense, ranked 90th or worse in all of college football. So I mean, they're not going to say, oh yeah, we're happy with that. But as far as style of play, I don't see that changing too much.
We'll see how the spring goes. Thanks, Gina. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.